What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I've got a fascinating news article today, folks. Like, this is just so absurd, it blows my freaking mind. Look, this is how deranged some of these Democrats are, that they would destroy their career, destroy their lives to save criminal aliens. I'm not lying about that. That's not hyperbole. None of those things. Check this out, y'all. This is absurd. ICE says Duckworth staffer impersonated lawyer to gain access to detainee, CWB Chicago. Now, this is just an absurd story where this guy impersonated a lawyer, went to an ICE detention facility to break out of detention a criminal alien, y'all. Somebody that has come across our southern border 4 freaking times and has been deported 4 freaking times. Okay, so they've come across 5 times and has been deported 4 times at this point, and also has a criminal past in this country. And this person destroyed their career, destroyed their life to save a criminal. Folks, like, once again, I talk about this. I've been talking about this in recent weeks, that Democrats don't believe the things that they say. They just use language as leverage over you to try to bludgeon you over the head with your own morals. They don't have any morality, folks. We can tell that from these people defending Drag Queen Story Hour and defending the LGBTQ nonsense being so pervasive, defending Pride Month, for crying out loud, and all these pride parades where naked men engage in sexual activities in public in front of children. They will stand up for these people. They will call you a bigot and a misogynist if you come out against it. It's totally absurd. So these people have absolutely no morals. So we can't have a moral discussion on anything. So when they come at you talking about, well, you're just racist, I don't care what you think, to be honest with you, if you call me a racist. I don't care about that. Look, I know that I'm not, for one. That's why I'm not going to care. But for number 2, I've seen what makes you cheer. Straight up. I've seen what makes you guys happy, and I don't want any part of it. So I could care less whatever pejorative you want to slang my direction. I could care less about all of it. These people just want to use language to hold power over you. That's it, folks. That's what this is all about. It's what any of these arguments where they're so enraged at conservatives or Donald Trump or whatever. It's all fake. It's all a fake narrative, just faux outrage, just for the sake of going to, once again, to hold leverage over somebody. Let's get into this, y'all. The Department of Homeland Security has accused a staff member in U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth's office of posing as an attorney to gain access and help release a detained immigrant, according to a letter sent to the Illinois senator. Now, once again, that's kind of a bit of a misnomer right there. They're using language against us because that person didn't help any detained immigrant. These people are not immigrants. I am trying to get that through to these people. All these corporate press outlets, they keep saying, oh, but these poor immigrants, Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. Donald Trump hasn't cracked down on immigration. The criminal aliens in this country are not immigrants. These people do not care about coming to this country for a better life, to melt into the pot, to buy a house, get a dog, build a picket fence, get a job and a wife, and have children. They don't care about any of those things, folks. They just want to suck whatever they can from the government teat and get whatever they can get out of the system. That's it. That's why they illegally cross the southern border. They don't care about our system, not in the least, folks. So you don't come at me with, oh, my poor immigrants. I don't care about you, my immigrant. Because they're not immigrants. They're criminal aliens. That's what they are. If you decide to come across that border illegally, you are not an immigrant. An immigrant is somebody, once again, I'll explain it for you guys, that is somebody that gets a visa, goes through the proper channels, does the process, right? Gets the visa, and then comes to the country the legal way. And that's an immigrant, by the way. Not these people that just, oh, well, we're going to take this treacherous journey across South America through Central America and just walk ourselves right on into the United States. No, I'm sorry. No. No. They're just trying to mooch off the system is all they're doing. In the letter dated Wednesday, reviewed by Fox News, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Acting Director Todd Lyons accused Duckworth's constituent outreach coordinator of entering a downstate ICE facility on October 29th. Edward York allegedly told a federal officer he was the attorney for Jose Ayuso Sandoval, a 40-year-old Mexican national who has been deported 4 times and also has a 17-year-old misdemeanor DUI conviction. ICE told KSDK-TV in St. Louis that Ayuso's first attempt to enter the U.S. illegally occurred when he was 19 years old. He crossed the border 4 times between 2003 and 2005, only to be quickly apprehended and returned to Mexico each time, the outlet reported. Lyons' letter said Duckworth's aide entered the ICE facility and claimed to be Mr. Ayuso's attorney and demanded to speak with his client. York met with Ayuso and obtained his signature on a G-28 form, which formally authorizes an attorney to represent a client in immigration matters, according to the letter. ICE believes York falsified an official DHS form to gain access to Ayuso and assist with his release. 4 days later, a G-28 form was filed electronically by a Collinsville, Illinois law firm without Ayuso's signature, even though York had already obtained a signed copy in person. Lyons suggested York may have collaborated with the firm to cover his misrepresentation. That's crazy, because now, wait till they get to the investigation into this, and if that law firm collaborated with this man, right, intentionally knowing what was going on here, oh my goodness, shut it down, folks. Go after these people. It's absurd that these people are trying to go behind the Trump administration's back, falsify documents to release criminals back into this country, y'all. It's completely insane, right? Because there's no guarantee that this guy will be able to stay within the United States, right? Like most of the people that go to immigration court, they get deportation orders. The vast majority, it's a high percentage. It's like 85% or something like that, get deportation orders. Now, once again, under the Biden administration, those people are just not deported. They have their final orders of deportation. They just don't care. They didn't care to enforce those orders. Well, with the Trump administration, they are enforcing all of them, folks. As a matter of fact, they're even dismissing some of the cases against some of these people just to turn them into criminal aliens, just to deport these people. I think that's just an all-star way of doing it, folks. Just that's an absolute lovely way of getting rid of some of these criminal aliens. Because, folks, like I said, they don't care about our system. They don't care about our country. They just want to mooch. They're just selfish for selfish reasons. We don't want people like that in the country. We have enough narcissists already in this country. We don't need more. York is facing very serious potential charges if these allegations are true, said Jonathan Turley, a law professor and veteran legal analyst for media outlets. We need more details, which have not been forthcoming from the Duckworth office, on whether this staffer is an attorney as allegedly claimed, Turley continued. On Wednesday afternoon, DHS posted a video purporting to show York at the facility. We look forward to a response from Senator Duckworth, the Post said. That's funny, and I'm glad they're doing things like that, because we need to expose the rot that is Washington, y'all. Seriously, these people are just deranged. And not just deranged with Donald Trump. They are deranged with America. These people hate this country, y'all. And so, once again, knowing somebody like this hates this country, when they stand up and invoke like the First Amendment or the Second Amendment, they don't ever invoke the Second Amendment, but, they'll invoke any of the amendments, try to use that against your argument, don't listen to it. Don't listen, because they're not serious. They don't mean it. They don't care about that Constitution, right? Any amendment in that Constitution. They don't care about none of that. They want to use whatever they can that's, whatever tool they possibly can that's politically advantageous for them at that time, to use it against you, to browbeat you into submission. That's all they want to do. They want you to sit down and shut up. And then when you do, they're going to claim silence is violence. They're going to want you to stand up and fight with them. And if you don't, we'll just Nick Fuentes you'll be ostracized from polite society. We're going to Kanye West your butt right on out the door. That's what we're going to do. We're going to debank you, deplatform you, and do everything. We're going to dehouse you if we can. I mean, that's what they tried to do to Alex Jones. They tried seizing everything from that man. They were trying to take not only his media company, which it is what it is, right? They tried to take his house, tried to tear his family apart through covert means. Oh, it was absurd. Oh, that's a whole rabbit hole you guys could go down for a while. You'd be on that for several days. I'm not lying. Every time he says he ain't lying, he's lying. The agency said it found no record of York being a licensed attorney. So that's bad news for this guy. Very bad news. It also noted that the Montgomery County, Illinois Democrats Facebook page posted about a staffer going to an ICE field office with documents and a release order, misrepresenting himself to law enforcement, which raised additional concerns. Lyons' letter asked Duckworth to respond by November 17th with information about York's employment status, whether he knowingly falsified government documents, and whether other staff members were aware of his actions. I implore all members of Congress and their staff to stop the political games that put law enforcement and detainees at risk, Lyons wrote. It is my sincere hope that you will advocate on behalf of your constituents who have been victimized by illegal alien crime and work with DHS to remove these criminals from the United States. The Attorney Registration and Disciplinary Commission's database of licensed Illinois attorneys yielded no result for the name Edward York. So this dude, right when I first started reading this news article, I was thinking, man, well, maybe this is a little bit semantic going on here. Maybe it's kind of one-sided, just semantic games being played, because we know a lot of these staffers, they go to law school, folks. A lot of these people, they are lawyers. If they get the opportunity to work for a U.S. senator, of course they're going to take it. It pays pretty well, right? Probably pays more than a lawyer. Maybe they're just an associate, or maybe they're just, working at a prosecutor's office, but they're a lawyer, full-fledged lawyer, or whatever it may be. So I was thinking, well, maybe this guy was a lawyer. He went to law school. Maybe he's not even a practicing lawyer, but he has practiced law in the past. So maybe there's kind of, hair splitting going on right here, right? And then when we got to the end, I was like, oh, God, no, this dude is just deranged is what he is. He was actually impersonating a lawyer to break out of detention a criminal alien, folks. That's what these people will do. That's the lengths these people will go to stop Donald Trump from deporting criminal aliens. So when you hear the arguments that, well, of course we want all the criminals deported, they don't believe it, folks. Once again, I'm sure you guys have heard that argument that, well, of course we want to get rid of the worst of the worst, because they'll use that once again as a bludgeon to go after people like me and you and say, well, how come Donald Trump's not going after the worst of the worst? Which is, it's a red herring. Because he is going after the worst of the worst. It just so happens he's also going after all the other criminal aliens. And they're just pretending that he's not. It's semantic games, right? It's sophistry is what it is. That's what it is, sophistry. But, yeah, this is just insane. This is the lengths these people, they'll destroy their lives for these people. So, do you think they really care about the Constitution? Which, it's law, folks. Law that these people cross the border illegally, they get deported expeditiously, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I don't want to hear none of these arguments from any of these people, right? If you want to try to make the arguments down in the comments, I'm not going to take you seriously if you try to argue on behalf of this person right here. I'm not going to take you seriously at all. I'm going to just laugh at you. That's what I'm going to do. But I think I've rambled on for long enough. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section, y'all. It's crazy. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new around here. Share this video anywhere and everywhere. What was I going to say next? Yeah, share the video. Oh, that is right. Click that join button. How could I forget? Lord knows, right? Y'all do all that for me, and you guys remember that, Jesus died to save us specifically, died to pay for our sins so that we could have everlasting life in heaven. We must be grateful for that. So praise God in all that you do, and you will be rewarded. I can promise that. But you guys have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.